seemed like an abrupt end. I don't know what you guys see on your end. I just see the countdown on the inside of the program here. So you guys might be staring at me. You know, I'm sitting out here like a calf looking at a new gate, like a dog staring at a new bucket. I don't know what you guys see. I'm just do the countdown, and it's weird. So if you catch me picking my nose or scratching my whatever, go with it. I don't care. We're just being dudes around here. Welcome to the Chad Prather Show. Happy hump day. It is Wednesday afternoon. 2 o'clock in the East. It is 1 o'clock Texas time, and we got some more things to get into. We're going to have a little fun today. Party Foul Steve's with me today, and we're going to talk to him and get his hot takes on some of the topics we talked about this morning on the Dear America Show. I'm watching the meltdowns. I see them over here on this screen on Fox and Newsmax and some other players that won't be named on my screens here, and I'm watching the insanity unfold. I think the theme of this show for a long time now has just been insanity, and it's getting worse. It's not going to get better. It's not going to get better before it gets worse. And I sort of, in a masochistic way, enjoy it because I get to make fun of it. I get to make a living making fun of it, and it's a good time, and you guys are here for it. But I also want you to go to watchchad.com, and I want you to find out my live tour schedule. We're going to be kicking it off this weekend, starting tomorrow night, Thursday night, the 20th, in Springfield, Missouri, right side of comedy. Jesse Payton and I, we are doing the Gulf of America comedy tour. Gulf of America, Ron and Elon Surf Shop. Don and Elon. We're going to be there at the Blue Room, so get your tickets to come out. And then, where am I? Let's see. I've got a bunch of things. I'm in Colorado next week. We got tons of shows coming. I don't think I'm home for the next month and a half. But if you guys ever sat around, and I want to talk to you, those of you in the chat, those of you that are there on Rumble, make sure you hit like, you float the American flags in the chat. Let's get the algorithm going. I want to get psychological with you for a minute. This is sort of one of my trends right now. I'm trying to figure out what motivates people psychologically, because I'm a psychological mess. I live in a psychological mess. I deal with depression and occasionally some anxiety. I even get panic attacks from time to time. It's crazy. I'm just an unhinged lunatic, so I learned to identify it pretty quickly. You don't want to be there when the laughter stops, folks. That's when the tears come. But I try to analyze things psychologically. I like to know what makes people tick. And so I've been sitting there asking myself as I watch people burn Teslas and firebomb Tesla dealerships and promote it and push for more of it as a form of protest. We talked about that this morning on the show. I did a opening dialogue about it. You should go back and watch it. It's amazing. It deserves an Emmy or whatever they give podcasters. But I want to know, what is the psychological reason why Democrats want to sabotage America? Why are they content to just crash the plane? Like, if I can't have it, nobody can have it. You remember that old story, King Solomon had 2 women that came to him, and one woman who had been taking care of a baby, she was not the birth mother of the baby. She came and she claimed ownership of the baby and said, "I'm the mother." And the true mother said, "No, I'm the mother." And Solomon said, "Well, here, we'll solve this problem. Bring me a sword." And they brought him one, and he said, "I'm just going to cut the baby in half. You can have one half, and you can have the other half." And the biological mother said, no, don't do that. Just give her the baby. Let her have the baby. And Solomon knew that the other one was indifferent. Solomon knew she was the biological mother and gave her the baby because she was willing to let someone else have it just so that it didn't die. The modern day Democrats are like, just cut it in half. Just destroy the whole thing. We'll be content in just watching its destruction. They're okay to crash the plane as long as it takes the political right, down with the whole thing. They're willing to crash and burn. Why are they willing to sabotage America? Well, there's a couple of psychological terms I want to toss out for those of you that are keeping notes. There is that in-group versus out-group dynamic. That's just a psychological way of saying that people tend to view their political affiliation as part of their identity. Like, I'm not a Republican. I'm not anything. I've run for office as a Republican because that's what I needed to do in that moment. To be in that primary, I had to, identify as a Republican. But I don't identify with a political party. I'm a conservative. If anything, I'm a libertarian. I'm a Christian first. I'm a conservative. I'm a libertarian. But I never consider myself a Republican. Now, if you identify yourself with your political affiliation, it's going to lead to this perception that everybody that disagrees with you is not only wrong, but they're actually actively harmful. Now, people that love being a part of a political party more than they love being an American, they're going to fall into this category. See, this is the high school clique. If you're not in my group, then you can't be trusted. Mean girls, kick them out. We're going to bully everybody. Now, this psychological deal can also be a form of confirmation bias, where you have individuals who often seek out the information that confirms their existing beliefs, and they might dismiss or rationalize any contradictory evidence. I mean, anybody that's spent any time on X has seen this happen. It leads to an extreme interpretation of the opposition's actions. See, that's the death of critical theory and critical thinking. Are you with me? It's the death of thinking critically. See, this is the treasure hunt, where the only prize is more ways to just back up your argument. If you're going online just to try to find a way to back up your argument without first asking yourself, is it possible that I'm wrong? Then you're not thinking critically. You guys with me? There's another big word out there, a big phrase called attribution of malice. Attribution of malice is when you're faced with opposing viewpoints and individuals, they attribute negative intentions to the other side, believing that their actions are deliberately harmful rather than the result of differing values or priorities. So when somebody disagrees with you, it becomes a full-blown villain origin story. How dare you do it? There's got to be something dark and deep and secretive and gross in your past. How dare you disagree with me because you know I'm right? There are people that operate out of fear and anxiety, the political narratives that evoke fear. Those things are going to lead to that heightened perception of threat, and people are going to feel their way of life is under attack, and they're going to interpret opposing actions as sabotage. You start thinking that somebody's coming to take away your way of life, put pineapple on your pizza. I don't know. And then, of course, we all operate in our echo chambers. A lot of us are in the chat right now. We're in our echo chamber, social media, partisan news outlets, podcasting. They create these things where these extreme viewpoints, they actually get amplified, reinforced, solidified, and they solidify the belief that the other side is acting against the interest of the country. That's the funhouse full of mirrors where everybody just sees extreme reflections of themselves and then tries to justify it. But I think what we're seeing today is putting all the psychobabble aside. I think we're seeing the progressive left. They might just know exactly how to brainwash simpletons into becoming domestic terrorists. I think that's what we're seeing, and we're going to talk about that. Before we do, I want to talk to you about our friends over at Modern Warriors. You can go to modernwarriors.com. They have some really cool gear over there. Tactical, firearms, suppressors, any of the gear you need, whether it's stuff you're prepping with, stuff you're defending your home with, stuff that you need to add to the save. I had somebody the other day said, "Are you really purchasing another firearm?" And I was like, "Yes." And they go, "But why? You have so many." And I said, "Because there's no such thing as so many or too many." You go to modernwarriors.com, check them out, use promo code Chad. They're pretty cool, man. They got everything you need in a one-stop shop, all the stuff that you've been looking for, some of those hard-to-find items as well. And you'll save with promo code CHAD, I spell it, Chad. The world is melting down around you, and I pray to God we never get to a point of violence, but I think there is some violence that's already being thrust upon us, and God forbid your family ever get caught in the melee. I want you to be prepared. The folks over at Modern Warriors, they'll help equip you. They'll help you celebrate your American freedoms as a believer in the Second Amendment. So check them out, modernwarriors.com. Use promo code Chad. Speaking of crazy people and psychobabble, let's bring him on. There he is. Ring that doorbell. It's Party Foul Steve.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, about this pineapple on the pizza thing, because that seems to be
you like that stuff?
A place we could start this. I do like pineapple on my pizza every now and then. Not every pizza, but I'll do it. Yeah, I know you don't like it because you never order it for me.
No, I don't even give you a choice.
Get mad, stop eating your pizza.
Yeah, God forbid you stop eating that free pizza. This, we had some pretty good pizza. I can't see my computer screen. We had some pretty good pizza this week. Pretty good stuff. It was so good that I ordered it twice. And how many times did you eat it?
They can't hear me. I don't know if that's true.
Bring that thing in close to you again.
I got it right up in there. How's that?
How many people can hear Party Foul Steve? Can everybody hear Party Foul Steve? I want to see it in the chat. I need to get over here to the chat. All right, good.
They can hear me. I'm watching the chat. I got it on my phone too. So
Party foul. Yeah, I know you watch. You look at your internet a lot, but are you paying attention to the world around you? Because you're a pretty laid back cat.
it kind of depends what it is. Sometimes I go back and forth. I'll go between X, Instagram, Reels, that kind of thing. I get on rabbit trails, go down and looking at stupid stuff, nothing that of any substance at all.
Like what kind of stupid stuff you've been looking at?
It doesn't it doesn't even matter what it is. It's just whatever's in my algorithm.
My algorithm hates my guts, okay? My algorithm hates me. Like right now on Facebook, it thinks that I just want to watch people popping zits. I don't know why. Like when I ordered some new face stuff, like some of that particle face cream, I ordered some of that stuff. Maybe they just want to, I don't know.
They took what you ordered and they go, hey, he might need some of this because he's got these zits. That
I don't have zits.
But they think you do because you ordered that cream.
I don't think that's zit cream.
All these devices are listening to us all the time. You know what I did yesterday?
I have no clue.
I have 3 Echoes in the Echo Dots in our house. We have one in the guest bedroom, one in ours, and one in the kitchen.
What's an Echo Dot? Is that something that plays music or something?
Amazon. Yeah, plays music. I can literally order something, put it on the shopping list.
Oh, that's insane.
I took all of them out of the house. I busted them up and threw them in the trash.
You did?
Yeah, all 3 of them yesterday.
Was there something that prompted you to do that?
Yeah, they got Amazon's coming on the 28th. Anything that they used to, it could listen to you and kind of, now it's on all the time. As of the 28th. It's going to be recording and listening to us.
But they've always done that.
Yeah, but they're going to keep the files now.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. Turn your volume up on your mic. You got a little thing over there that's got on the far left, that top left.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, there you go. Let's
Maybe
turn that thing all the way. Where you start seeing it. Put the little green. There we go. Ta-da. We got to get you set up with a better system in there. If people would send some money over to at Party Foul Steve on Venmo, maybe. But I don't trust you to use that money to build out equipment.
I will invest every bit of it. I got $461 right now.
Are you serious?
Serious.
All right. Dude, you're in business, bro. But now here's the thing.
Yeah,
like I have all the equipment. So I treat Party Foul Steve sort of like a video game, how you start at the bottom and you got to earn little equipment or like a better gun or a better ship or a better airplane. Like I have all of the stuff, but I make Steve earn it little by little.
I'm putting in the work. So
now he's wondering if that's true.
I've always invested in myself. Anything that I'm doing, I'm gonna if whatever job I have, I'm gonna have the best tools. I'm gonna have the things that I need. So I always invest back in myself.
Yeah. Well, you are a good man, Steve. I love you, buddy. We're going to Springfield tomorrow. Exotic location there to kick off this new tour. Springfield, Missouri. I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna have fun. But Steve, we do have to set you up, but I think I'm going to move. Where do I want to move to? Where in America should I move to? I'm thinking of moving.
Yeah. Where in America? How about, in my neighborhood?
You want me to move right next door to you?
Right next door, right there close.
Party Foul Steve, he picked out a house for me over on the lake that I'm like, bro, I appreciate that you think I'm in that tax bracket.
We can all live in it.
You could. Steve's like, it's only 3 minutes from my house. You could come over to my house and eat dinner. And I was like, I got a feeling if I move into that house, brother, you'll be at my house. I don't know that I need 100%. A 3-story house for just me, but I appreciate.
You never have to go see anybody.
We'd have to, and I never would because I wouldn't be able to afford to. Okay, but we're gonna have. I got to move here in the next couple of months. I'm just trying to think of where I want to move to. Where am I going to be? And what I want to do, because I'm moving here in a couple of months, and we'll just see what happens. Hang on, I got to plug this iPad up, so it can listen to me some more.
Plug it up. Yeah, there's other houses over there in that area that are not that. I just picked the biggest, baddest one that was, had everything that I want, and if I had midget money.
Y'all don't midget money. Do you want to explain to everybody what midget money is?
Midget
Go ahead,
money.
tell 'em.
Midget money is when you're so rich you can have midgets running around delivering, bringing drinks and stuff like that. Cool ones, It's you have a little butler midget. You just pay him to say it's cute. We're not supposed to say midget anymore, are we?
Oh, I say it all the time. I told you guys about when I got trapped at the midget convention up in Boston. It looked like somebody kicked an anthill, man. There was 4,000 of those little people running around, and I was like, okay, we're going to party because, trust me, they're half the size and twice the party. And we wound up in the bar drinking that night, sipping gin and drinking vodka, and I was like sitting on my bar stool, and the girl next to me was standing on hers, and we were talking about some crazy stuff, man. They were partying, bro. And people were like, well, and I said, I'm sorry. Y'all are so much fun. I got to call you midget. Yeah, I mean, they were like, we don't care. We don't care. They were like, hey. They were like, we even have orgies here. I was like, put 9 of y'all in a king-size bed. Y'all wouldn't be able to find each other.
And we got a couple of little people friends that they refer to themselves as midgets.
My buddy Jeff Sperrier, the midget from Pritchett. He's in a wheelchair over there in East Texas. He had a T-shirt that said the midget from Pritchett, and they said, you can't say that. And he goes, I'm the midget. I can say whatever I want to say. I don't believe in banning words. I just don't believe in that. Like, if it's offensive to you, get over it. Just whatever. I mean, they're actual words. They have meanings. It's not just talking about you. All right. Speaking of midget-minded, Tim Walz. He went on stage. This guy, where did he? Like, I thought that pimple had disappeared. Just listen to what he says here. Play it.
Saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping. So, and if you own one, we're not blaming you. You can take dental floss and pull the Tesla thing off, and take out, just telling you. Saying on my phone.
So Tim Walz, the guy that went on Gavin Newsom's podcast, we talked about it this morning, said he could kick anybody's ass. But he says the thing that brings him joy through the day is watching the Tesla stock go down. If I were to go out and buy a Tesla, like if I buy an automobile, you know how you go in and you get the pitch from the finance guy or whatever? You always go to the finance guy, even if you're paying cash for an automobile, and they try to upsell you. What do they upsell you with? They try to sell you a maintenance plan, a service plan. And you can finance that thing in, you can pay for it right up front, whatever. If I were going to go in and buy a Tesla, I don't know, Steve, how to work on an automobile as it is, but much less an electric automobile. I'm thinking I would probably need to get the plan, right? The service plan. Because especially right now, if somebody's going to come out there and vandalize your automobile, I work hard to put the insurance on the vehicle. I've got the service plan on the vehicle. I maintain the vehicle. I have a charging station at my home for the vehicle, all the things that go with this. So there's a lot of money that the American consumer has put into owning this vehicle. And then you have thousands of people who work for Tesla to put these vehicles together and sell these vehicles. This is an economy builder and booster. To say that you're harming Elon Musk by harming Tesla, you're harming the American worker and the American consumer. So
he wants America to fail.
Thank you.
Just period.
Thank you. This is what they want. This is what. I mean, thank God this guy isn't the vice president.
No, I want to challenge him right now. I'm going to challenge you, Walz, right now. Let's go 3 rounds. Any, I don't care what it is, whether it's boxing, wrestling, you name it, a sport. Let's go 3 rounds.
And Steve's a dude with a knee replacement. He can.
I'm I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I could kick his ass. Promise.
I guarantee you could, man. That knife hand come out, Party Foul Steve, you take business. I'm just saying, Hot Seat Todd wants a little piece of him. I'll jump in there, and I get winded easily, but I'm willing to go around.
I'll sit in a chair and kick his ass.
I'm willing to go around. So anyway, these guys are calling for the destruction of American companies. By doing that, I go back to what I said in the opening monologue. These people are calling for the destruction of America. They have a psychological issue. People like Tim Walz are happier being politically affiliated to a party or an ideology than they are to being an American. And that in and of itself is problematic with me. This is what we're dealing with. I don't care if it's on the right or on the left. If you are more satisfied and more motivated by being politically affiliated than by being affiliated as an American citizen and wanting what's best for America, wanting what's best for American companies, and I know there's going to be the Yahoo, the Trents of the world, who are going to come out there and say, well, you're okay with Doge and Trump and Elon firing military and federal workers and la, 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 la. I am if they're not doing the job. They talk about, federal government, they're firing all of these veterans and these military members. You know, there's a lot of veterans that get fired from Walmart and Target and, GM. There's a lot of veterans out there that get fired from jobs. There's no special treatment when it comes to employment just because you serve. Party Foul Steve, you're a Marine.
You got it. You got to do the job.
You got to do the job.
You don't get it's not a free pass to everything in life.
I mean, if you're a veteran, why don't we just pay you for doing nothing? Like Party Foul Steve. Yeah. Just do that. There's a lot of veterans out there that have to go to work, and a lot of veterans get fired. A lot of veterans lose their jobs. That's the nature of a free market economy, which, by the way, we've far past any free markets of economy anymore. I don't know if you guys have seen that video. Go, the Kramer, whatever. What's Kramer's Twitter name on that deal, talking about these private equity deals. And, oh, man, it's a mess. Talking about why companies like Hooters are going bankrupt even though they're successful companies. They're basically coming for everybody's pensions is what they're doing. They went after the housing market and made the housing market crash. Everybody would be rioting in the streets right now if they were to do that with the economy, because they saw that when they created that economic bubble back in 2008. But now they're coming after your parents and your grandparents' pensions, and they're going to make that pop. And so that's why these companies there's been, Trump's got to close these loopholes. Do a little research on that and see what you find on that. That is it's a 9-minute video, and it's worth every bit of the watching on that deal to break it down. That is on my buddy Kramer Says, S-E-Z, at Kramer Says. But here's Jimmy Kimmel. I'm so sick of, everybody's offended for us going out and doing the Right Side of Comedy, Gulf of America comedy tour. We've had to watch this little pinhead cry for ages over, his little political meltdowns. Jimmy Kimmel, basically, we're going to play the whole clip. There's 9 seconds of it where he calls in a silent kind of way, but he calls for Teslas to be vandalized. But let's watch the whole clip, because this guy, some of you just need some beta energy in your life right now. Please.
Down other than the stock market for a change. Our co-president, Elon Musk, sent a SpaceX vehicle to bring the astronauts back, and when they landed, he fired them immediately upon landing. Tesla stock is way down, almost disastrously so. People have been vandalizing Tesla vehicles, new Tesla vehicles. Please don't vandalize. Don't ever vandalize Tesla vehicles. And so Elon Musk has been making the rounds in the right-wing media to try to appear to be a human being. Yesterday, he was guest of honor on the Ted Cruz podcast, where Sweaty Teddy, Ted Cruz seems, everything he knows about technology seems to come from movies he's seen. Ted asked Elon a question about the dangers of AI.
Is Skynet real? Like you get the apocalyptic visions of AI. How real is the prospect of killer robots annihilating humanity?
20% likely. Maybe 10%.
On what time frame?
5 to 10 years.
He's going to try to get that down to 3, but...
That was kind of funny. Well, these are the same people that are for government bailouts for the auto industry. So if Tesla goes down and the government's going to come bail them out, they'll be okay with that or not?
Yeah, we ain't never doing that again either.
Yeah,
we ain't never doing that again either. But I know that there will be those who will say to me, but Chad, you wanted Anheuser-Busch's stock to go down. No, I just didn't want to drink Bud Light. I didn't want, I'm fine with you as a company because, again, it's not, I said back then, I'm not interested in them laying off the American worker who's out there putting, the bottles on the truck and delivering the beer. That's the whole thing. I wanted the company itself to see how they had embraced an ideology that is actually dangerous, specifically and potentially dangerous to the sexualization of children. Because they paraded a dude out there who pretends to be a, quote, girl. And I said, I think they need to be held accountable by that. And to this day, I don't think, have consumed a Bud Light. Now, that's fine, because that's called a boycott. Now, a boycott is from the bottom up. It's not cancel from the top down. So if people want to sell their stock on Tesla, you're not punishing, at the end of the day, a dude that's worth $500 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, I said yesterday on X, as soon as that SpaceX thing landed down, there was probably a liberal out there's keying the thing. And a federal judge saying those guys got to go back to space.
And if they're vandalizing a car that's in their own zip code, all they're doing is increasing their own insurance rates in the long run.
Listen at Party Foul Steve with the common sense, baby. That's what you're doing.
That's exactly.
Driving up the crime rate statistics and everything else. Here's a dude walking his dog, and he's obviously picked up some dookie, and he's walking down the street, got the dookie in the little bag, and he walks past a Tesla and flings it right on the Tesla. Whap-pow! Little American Bulldog doo-doo.
He's really showing them.
Really showed them, man. They're trying to, and again, they got the Teslas have Sentinel mode. So if you're thinking about doing this, you're on camera. This Tesla owner apparently wants to press charges. They're interested in doing it. But slinging the poo. Look at them little shorty shorts. Is that Royce with a Tampa sweatshirt on?
Maybe. How many times does this have to happen before people start realizing they got cameras on them every time you walk around one of those things?
And what does that really do for you? Well, how does that give you an endorphin hit that I slung doo-doo on somebody else's car?
These are the same guys that go in the grocery store shop and eat 3 pounds of grapes while they're shopping. It's like, ooh, you big outlaw.
That's some redneck stuff you would do right there.
No, you eat 1 or 2 to taste to see if they're good, but you don't finish the whole 3 pounds through the store.
Well, anyway, doo-doo flingers, beware. You're being filmed, okay? You're on camera, and it's a truck that is bulletproof, so your doo-doo can wash right off of that. But these folks, as I said this morning on the Dear America opening monologue, they're toddlers. Toddlerism, they're throwing little tantrums. That's all they're doing. If you're at the point where you're slinging doo-doo like a monkey or slinging doo-doo like a kid who just found something in his diaper, you're nothing more than a toddler. Come on. It's never crossed my mind to say, you know what? I'm going to walk past my neighbor who is a raging lib, or the lesbians down the street with their Subarus in the parking lot, and go, you know what? They got their whole Black Lives Matter banners out there in their yard. I'm not going to walk by because I disagree with their ideology and sling my doo-doo on it.
You can think about it, though.
You can talk about it. There's Tesla. Listen, he's going to show them right here. I mean, this dude drives by a pink Tesla Cybertruck. Look at there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold my middle finger out there. Play the clip. Just going to own this action right here. Just going to sit there at the red light. Here we go. Play it. Yeah. And then they're going to film him.
This is just Trump derangement syndrome. Period. Elon derangement syndrome. That's just all it is.
I mean, the person driving the stupid Cybertruck, like I drive a Ford F-250, diesel 4-wheel drive. It's a Super Duty. I could put you and the kids and everybody in there, okay? And it's a big truck. It's a jacked up truck because I compensate for having a small wing-wang. But let me tell you, nobody has ever pulled up next to me. There's no climate alarmists, no climate cultists. Nobody's ever pulled up to me and held their middle finger out to me. Because I was burning up the ozone layer or anything else. But you're going to be so melted down that this person who's chosen to protect the climate, who's probably a lefty libo.
Because they know it's a soy boy driving that electric truck.
That's exactly right. That's right. You know, you read my mind on that. Because they'll pull up next to an electric car and flip you the bird. Because a dude like me ain't going to come up there and jerk your ass out of the car and show you, about some of that street justice. I mean, I try to maintain my anger. I try. I'm not always successful in their stuff. But I never forget one time my dad My late father, God bless him, my father, he wasn't like me. He was very quiet. He was very dry. And he didn't say anything unless he meant it, right? And my dad was driving his truck one time. This guy, you know how when your light turns from red to green and bam, bam, somebody behind you immediately lays on the horn. My dad goes to the next light. Light turns green. Bam, bam. My dad goes to the next light. Light turns green. Bam, bam. My dad got out of the truck. My father got out of his truck and turned around and said, and I quote, "You touch that horn one more time and I'm going to shove it up your ass." That's how I grew up. My dad had a stroke, paralyzed on the right side of his body, had dementia the last 2 years of his life living in a veteran's home, and I was still afraid of that man. But here's the deal. Scott Jennings, he's the voice of reason. He's the only thing keeping, in my opinion, CNN alive. Let's play this clip. He basically calls it, as I said earlier, domestic terrorism. Play it.
There's also, on the subject of Elon Musk, there's been all kinds of vandalism against Teslas and Tesla dealerships all over the country. You know, Las Vegas, Kansas City, Encinitas, Buffalo Grove, Littleton, Mass. I grew up right next to Littleton, Mass. Loveland, Colorado, Tigard, Oregon, all over the place.
The other night, Donald Trump said these are domestic terrorists. Everybody laughed about it and scoffed at it. That video looks like terrorism to me. I mean, it's obviously an organized, coordinated effort, however people are communicating with each other, to do this to people around the country who chose to buy a Tesla at some point in the past, many of whom I'm sure were Democrats who bought them in the first place, all because their entire political worldview is ruled by their emotions. And that's the American left right now. It is one angry mob after another willing to take things into their own hands, up to and including keying, firebombing, and otherwise vandalizing cars and car dealerships and charging stations. It's outrageous. It is terrorism. People ought to be put in jail and left there for a very long time and be taught a lesson. So this right here, what's going on with a guy who helps our country, who runs successful companies, who doesn't have to be doing this, and now one of his companies is under systematic terroristic threat and violence all over the country, and people seem to be laughing about it or fine with it. It's outrageous. I've sat at this table and had people say, we should cut Elon Musk from the government totally. He rescued our astronauts today. Is that what we want? The treatment of this guy is outrageous. These people who are doing this need to be found, put in jail, and made an example of. That's my point.
Here's the thing. They want all the stuff that they've accused you of on the right, all the stuff that they've accused conservatives of, is what they do. They want to fling their poo. They want to flip you off. They want acts of violence. Hillary Clinton said back during the campaign, we need to be re-educated. We have been called garbage. Forget the deplorable thing, but all of these different names and terminology have been called literally Hitler, Nazis. They want Elon Musk. They're trying as hard as they can from his little my heart to yours salute that he did. They're trying to say that his haircut recommendation, all of that is some kind of Nazi white supremacy deal. They want him dead. I'll just tell you honestly, they want him dead. And they, given their opportunity, would do exactly that. So these people are completely unhinged. To Scott Jennings' point, they are ruled by their emotions. Their emotions are not in check because their emotions, folks, are not built on reality. See, that's a dangerous place to be. Emotions are fine. Emotions are great. I love emotions. You should have them. Laugh, cry, feel good about yourself. But here's the thing about emotions. If your happenings happen to happen happily, you'll be happy. But if your happenings happen to happen unhappily, you'll be unhappy. So if all of your emotions are built on circumstances and your perception of reality, and your reality is false, and you're living in some kind of ethereal paradigm, you're going to have the wrong emotions applied to the wrong reality, and the results are going to be realistically tragic.
Yeah, one of the things they haven't realized about Elon Musk is that he's not a quitter. He's not going to stop because of all of this going on. Look, he wouldn't be where he's at. He wouldn't have the spaceships going up into space or anything if he was a quitter. He'd have quit a long time ago. He's not quitting.
Yeah, especially not now.
Yeah, that's fuel. That blowing up his stuff, and that's fuel to what he's. You know what? Hey, he's on the right track.
And they're just driving, as you said, the insurance rate's higher. I mean, you're going to firebomb a Tesla dealership in that area. You're just driving insurance rates up on automobiles as well as property and all of these things because he's going to write all that stuff off. You're not doing anything to Elon Musk. Let's not forget, Elon Musk was the guy that when Western North Carolina got hit by Hurricane Helene, that he donated, I don't know, thousands upon thousands of Starlink units so people could get back online. We got to talk about our friends over at Allied Oilfield, alliedoilfield.com. They are an industry leader in oilfield equipment. We know we've got a lot of oil and gas folks that listen to the show as well as some over-the-road truckers. Check out alliedoilfield.com. They are out in Levelland, Texas, and they have been in the business for 20 years. From the idea of conception to the finished product, these guys will engineer what you need as well as being an industry leader in a lot of stuff they've already created and pioneered the market on. So check them out, alliedoilfield.com. You can get over on their website. You can learn a whole lot about that oil and gas industry and what type of equipment goes into making sure that we can drill, baby, drill. So check them out over at alliedoilfield.com. Pretty cool folks over there. Check out their website when you get an opportunity. The link will be down in the description. All right. Alec Baldwin. I sort of wanted to feel sorry for Alec Baldwin, which is something I never thought I would say. He's on a red carpet, and he's with, I guess, his wife here. And and by the way, we did miss a couple of super chats yesterday because I got carried away with everything. We'll make up for that today. So we'll I don't know that we'll be able to read them, but we'll give you a shout out.
Just send twice the amount of money, and we'll retype it in. And
Party Foul Steve's done found a racket, man. This is my boo, Sarah Gonzalez, at Sarah Gonzalez TX. There's no H and it's spelled with an S. Here's what she said. I didn't think it was possible to ever feel sorry for Alec Baldwin, but holy shit. All right, play the clip.
The Ilaria show.
No. I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it feels to have it be out there.
It's gonna be great. You're a winner.
Oh my God! When I'm talking, you're not talking.
Sorry.
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why. Yes, we'll have to just cut him out of the show.
Look at that face.
No, I mean, I think this is a really
she got some Latino in her.
raw show.
She's pretending to be.
This
Look at that face.
a really
He's like, oh, let me go find something else to do.
raw show.
He's just
and
gonna
it's
scoot over
very
here and get
real,
out of there.
and we took a lot of chances. And, I think that we'll see where it leads us. We'll see what it feels like to have be out there. And then we'll see, if people like it.
Yeah.
He's the reason they put those chairs in the corner of the hotel room.
She totally emasculated him here. She had her moment to shine on the red carpet, and his ego wasn't going to get in her way, and so she had to do that. Scroll down to one comment. Let's see if mine is right there below it. I said under this, let's see if it's there. I said, I bet he has an idea about how to keep her quiet. Oh,
Shots fired.
Oh, no pun intended right there. No pun intended. Oh, man. Wow. I mean, if you've seen the clips of him having his meltdowns both with the media as well as with his own daughter on a cell phone, those went viral a while back. I guarantee you it was not a happy night there in the house. So a few funny reactions. This was said,
the paparazzi really figured out a way to push his buttons, get him triggered.
Well, he's easily triggered.
Yeah.
Is easily triggered, as this one said. Anyone got a prop gun? I mean, he's killed a woman before. So another accident incoming. Oh boy, funny stuff, dude. Couldn't happen to a better person though. Before we go any further, let me tell you about our friends over at All Family Pharma, because we want to roll this thing out before it gets too late in the show. All Family Pharma. They're pretty cool folks. You guys, I've told you about getting your ivermectin protocols over there. Allfamilypharmacy.com makes that easy for you. And you go over there, check them out, do a little shopping for the medications that you need. Get those in your shopping cart. You fill out the form. The doctor will review it, and they will write you to the prescription based on what you need. You need to get that stuff formulated for you. You don't have to to keep doing the paste from the from the Tractor Supply or wherever. You can actually go to allfamilypharmacy.com, get your ivermectin, get your other stuff that a lot of people are using for cancer protocols. There's weight loss stuff, as well as the emergency medical kits that you want to have on hand in case you can't get to the pharmacy at 3 o'clock in the morning, or there's a supply chain issue and your pharmaceuticals, which are made in China, are not able to get to your pharmacy at all. So check them out, allfamilypharmacy.com. Do a little shopping over there. Check them out. Check them out. And they may have a promo code CHAD, C-H-A-D, I spell it Chad. It's worth trying, but they got the savings built in. No pity for Alec. I like what you guys are saying. Alec is abused. He'll come out and say that he's a victim here in a little while. Ed Krasenstein, I can't stand him. He messaged me the other day. I left him on read. Ed Krasenstein, he was talking about the Trinidad gang members that were sent to El Salvador. First of all, let me just establish those people were in this country illegally. Now, he is trying to play a pity case right here to make them the victims. He said, if you're honestly okay with Donald Trump sending non-criminal, loving, caring Venezuelan immigrants to high-security El Salvador prisons, where they have, no visitation rights and can't even go outside, then you're simply a horrible person.
I'm a horrible person.
Apparently, I'm a horrible person. These sweet, loving El Salvadorian, Venezuelan gang members with gang tattoos, and he tries to say there's multiple families that are reporting the same thing. Saying that they should not have been deported. They just happen to have tattoos of their daughters' names. Not quite the same thing. He says, this is why due process matters. This is human torture. All right.
There's a prison full of people right up the road that don't get to see their families.
We're right out there. Let's play this clip. Let's hear what the president had to say on this deal. We got a little ding on the
Year-old Mervyn Yamar seems to be a weekend President Trump invoking a sweeping wartime powers law known as the Alien Enemies Act, and that they should send him back to his country of origin.
These were bad people.
Bad people. Yeah. So they got out of Venezuelan prisons. They were released by Maduro. They came up here. They should not have been here. They were here illegally. Oh, the separation of family. You know what? As you said, right up here in Huntsville Prison, just 20 miles up the road, 30 miles up the road, guess what? There's a lot of people that have been separated from their families. And then talking about this family members of deported migrants that are speaking out. Yeah, they are going to speak out. They are going to speak out because they don't like this. Their freedoms have been interrupted. Their gravy train has run out. Now, the dangerous part is that government cheese is going to dry up and it's going to get violent here in our country because there's still millions of people who are here illegally, and there are still a percentage of them that are violent that are here, and they're not going to want to be deported. They're going to fight. They're going to be like somebody backed into a corner, and the only thing that they can respond with is going to be violence. So anyway.
Yeah, they're not going to self-deport. The bad guys are going to do everything they can to hide. They're not going to, they're already breaking the law. So,
yeah,
come get me is what they're going to be their attitude.
They're not going to download the CBP app. They're not going to. To self-deport. They're not going to. Our friend Brianna Morello, she was on the show yesterday. She had this tweet about Trump and Vladimir Putin's phone call that happened yesterday. Concluded a 1-hour call with Ukraine's. I'm sorry, this was today. This was the Trump and Zelensky call. Trump says he concluded a 1-hour call with Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky. The president says the call was centered around his discussions with Putin. So I think that Trump is in the pace of not only bringing a ceasefire and peace in Europe, but I think with a matter of a phone call, he can bring it to the Middle East as well. I think he's letting Israel do what Israel's going to do. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get some things done to the point where there's going to be some huge calls in the days ahead for Trump to get at least be nominated for the Peace Prize. Not that that's all right. So Harry Sisson, let's bring this back up. A few things going on around this Harry Sisson case. We talked about it this morning on Dear America. Let me just say, so, this tweet right here, I mean, obviously she's going after Harry Sisson, and because he got some girls that, were sending him some naked pictures or sexy pictures or Snapchats or whatever, which, again, if they're consenting adults, knock yourself out if that's what you want to do. If he was doing this in such a way, and I'm sure more will come out if this is true, this is... if he was doing something to coerce them, if he was doing something to blackmail or extort them, that's another story. We don't know if that's true or not. But at this stage in the game, it looks like they're just some naked pictures going back and forth.
I just want to know what he's saying to get him to send naked pictures. What's his game? I thought he was gay. I thought he was gay.
He is, but he's he's just famous. That's a disgusting picture.
I ain't real famous, but
again, couldn't happen to a nicer person, but listen, this I never lied to you. We were not exclusive. I made it abundantly clear I didn't want that, and you said that was fine. I haven't done anything that wasn't allowed within the parameters we set. What and why are you screenshotting? So again, Harry basically, it sounds like maybe a woman scorned situation. She thought she was an exclusive with old Harry. Girls do funny things for famous people. It's been a long time since I've gotten any nakeds, but I've gotten them.
I'll send you one later.
You better. Don't you lie to me, Daddy. Listen, consenting adults do all kind of things. They do all kind of things. But to say that these girls are victims just because they chose to send a TikTok influencer naked pictures on Snapchat, that is not criminal. That's a 20-year-old trying to do whatever, 21, 22, however old he is, trying to do their thing. Is it appropriate? Didn't say that it was. I just said it wasn't illegal.
Yeah, as long as there wasn't any underage girls that he was trying to coerce to do so.
But I think there's some, I think there's some personal vendettas going back and forth here between these so-called influencers, and they're trying to out one another and see who they can bottom line on this whole deal. We'll see. We'll see what comes out. I think this whole thing, we alluded to it this morning. We talked about it. And is it appropriate? Like I said, no, not appropriate. Not appropriate. But
what's
it's
the one
also
where he's
not
got somebody
illegal.
sitting in his lap?
He's got several of those things that came out in the last week.
Okay,
This
that one right
here,
there.
where he's trying to look like a little player. They must be flipping off a Tesla or something right there. But he's got several where some girls, cradled up in his arms, rubbing on him and stuff. And
Look, guys, I have a girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. So there were, there were 11 more that came forward and said that women were played by Harry. Years ago, somebody put a whole Instagram story page together and said that I was abusing them in some kind of way. And I was like, no, you just got told no is the bottom line. Chad's a cheater and all that. Well, okay, whatever. This whole thing between consenting adults ain't news to me.
If you think about it, he has over 2 million followers. 11's really not that many. There's probably a lot more than 11.
It's like Ron White said, about Tiger Woods. He said, you don't talk about the fact that he cheated with 18 women. It's the fact that there was 64,000 others he said no to. But yeah. So, this whole thing, Harry Sisson. Here's the deal. Let me just give you my summary of the JFK files. You guys ready? By the way, you guys, I don't know if you follow Rick Wilson, but he also put a deal on his Substack or whatever it was, or his locals. I don't know what it was, where Rick Wilson, he said, kill Tesla, save the country. He wrote an article on that. He said, Elon has a weak spot you need to attack. Tesla's no longer just a car company. It's a bank for fascists, a goose-stepping hedge fund, bankrolling the political fever dreams of Elon Musk and his Doge dreams of controlling the ruins of the American government as he becomes Earth's first trillionaire and then the emperor of Mars. People write this stuff and they take them seriously. He says Musk's power and wealth are inseparable from Tesla's absurdly inflated stock price. If the Tesla bubble pops, so does Elon's ability to keep throwing money around like a drunken Russian oligarch in a Macau casino. Here's a summary. Let me just give you guys the summary of the JFK files. And if anybody's surprised, they declassified 70,000 to 80,000 documents. We talked about this morning. Declassified, the files reveal the CIA, I talked too much during the day, Steve, was tracking Lee Harvey Oswald, before he killed JFK. Well, then they said it was Harvey Oswald that killed him. So if it was Oswald that killed him and they were tracking him and watching him, then the CIA was not doing a very good dadgum job. They watched his visits to the Soviet, Russia and Cuba embassies in Mexico City and worried about the connections to foreign spies. But they didn't watch him in Dallas very well. So let me just summarize it, okay? JFK Jr. called Joe Biden a traitor. The CIA orchestrated the entire assassination. Links to Mossad and Israel were all over these documents. Ties to the Khazarian mafia. And Gary Underhill, who was a CIA operative, was murdered after saying the assassination was a CIA operation. So that's my summary on the whole deal.
I just want to know who financed the trips to Russia, Cuba, because he's a guy that works at, it was probably making minimum wage.
There's some history out there. There's a lot of stuff that people can read up on that of how he got around and he had his wife and all this different stuff. There's some it's a deep circular story, but it's wild. But the CIA basically knew about this guy. They knew what he was up to. They knew he was nefarious. And they sat back while whoever else was involved, and him, apparently, carried this thing out. At least that is the official narrative as I break it down. Me personally, I think there were more involved. I think there were more shooters involved. I think there was more in, people, pulling triggers.
Yeah, I stayed up way too late reading stuff that I already knew.
Was Oswald involved? Yes. Was he the trigger puller? Was he the sole trigger puller? No. I don't believe that ever. No. He might have pulled a trigger, but I don't think he was the trigger puller. I do think they set him up. It was far too convenient to catch him down the road at a theater and, come out and they track him down and the whole thing. And then they 86 him real quick. So, but this is weird. Right after this is released, the CIA headquarters in Langley, today, they got a dude firing rounds. I don't know if this is connected in any way. Like, this is weird to me. Some dude goes out to the CIA and starts popping off rifle rounds into the sky. That, to me, just seems like you're trying to commit suicide and go out with a bang.
Maybe he's mad at the CIA for covering things.
I don't know. People are so insane at this point, dude. I mean, if they're willing to go out and light themselves on fire and protest and go out and commit suicide by cop, and like the dude a few months ago or a month ago who tried to climb over the front fence of the White House, these people are just idiots. They're unhinged, the insanity. I go back to what I said at the very, very beginning, and that is we have very simple minds out there that have been brainwashed by leftist progressives to become domestic terrorists. There's no question about this whole deal. What did Steve have to say about it? I don't know if he said anything relevant about it or I'll turn the volume up for a second. Let's see what he said. See what Bannon said.
Virginia, that's in Northern Virginia. It looks like a police presence. There's some barricade up. I want to put that in the box. And as we know more here at Real America's Voice War Room, we will update you. But something...
Yeah. Still don't know anything. But anyway, nope. Harry Sisson, man, I think the breaking news is Harry Sisson isn't gay. I think that's the real deal. I mean, that's the breaking story right there.
Breaking news.
Steve. Throw some super chats in the chat, and we will read them here in a moment. And I'm sorry for those of you that we missed yesterday. That's a super chat.
I know
thing.
We missed one from Tipton.
Yeah, Tipton had one $5 one. Thank you for that one. I love what you guys are saying about Harry Sisson. I have no one in their right mind thinks that boy is 100% straight. He curious. You know what I'm talking about? He curious. Listen, I ain't gonna hold that against him, whatever. I mean, my luck with women at this stage in the game, I wish there was a pill I could take every day, wake up with all my options open, but I can't. I think, that's why the only relationship I've had that's lasted the longest is me and Party Foul Steve. Yeah. But we don't do anything. You ain't never traded pictures with me.
No, we don't even trade memes. We don't even text each other, really.
We're like an old married couple, dude. And let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you guys what happened. You guys throw something in the chat. Just let me know. Maggie Moose, I got you, Chad. You better not. You either got a pill to make me gay or you got a girl that's interested. I don't know what you talk about, Megan. So is Chad trying to tell us something? Let me tell you what I'm trying to tell you. So this morning, Party Foul Steve and I went to the diner we go to, and we sit down at the bar there, and they know exactly what we want. They start bringing our drinks out, and they already know what we want. I got you, boo-boo. That's all. All right, I hear you. And we're sitting there, and Steve, there's a guy sitting like around the corner by himself. Steve and I go in there, we sit down. Now, we don't think anything of it. But Steve sits there and he goes, he's going to want the salt and pepper. He's going to need it. And
I didn't say it like that.
Oh, but that's the way it came out.
Oh.
Steve's like, he's going to want the salt and pepper. And the girl said, do you want an extra syrup for your pancakes? And Steve's like, yeah, he's going to want the extra syrup. So we're starting to sound like a little gay couple sitting at the bar. And I can see the dude out of the corner of my eye right here sitting next to me. His eyes are getting like this. And I'm like, I got to run to the bathroom. Steve's like, yep, it's time for you to wash your hands. And I'm like, all right, Steve.
I think it's funny because I just don't care.
I know. And Steve's like leaning in. And like hugging up and like at one point,
I didn't do
I was
don't start all that.
At one point I was like gonna reach over and just rub his thigh or something like that. And these days you don't know, man. There's some pretty butch gay dudes out there. But I'm like, I can't remember everything you said, but you like everything you said was like, because we travel together, you know everything about me. And I was like, okay, we're coming off like a gay couple.
It goes both ways.
I don't care. I don't even care.
Yeah.
I'm single and I ain't mingling. That's the deal. I'm staying put. I'm all by myself.
I know there's some chat. We got super chats coming up, Mr. Perosa.
Steve has found some moneymaker and he likes it. Moved to East Texas, lots of beautiful sights to see.
See,
East
Whitney
Texas.
has a different East Texas. She lives that's up north. People don't realize East Texas, there's like zones of East Texas, all the way, East Texas, Southeast Texas, deep East Texas. We're kind of deep East Texas.
Yeah, it's too many trees in East Texas. I'm not a fan. There's too many trees around where I live. I'm moving.
Up there's not. That ain't that bad.
There's still a lot of pine trees up there, dude. Too many trees. MXWife 859, all these people vandalizing Tesla in the dealerships, they are red pilling more people than they realized. Well, that's why they're at a 21% approval rating. And those who think the Democrat Party is doing very well is at 7%.
Wow.
I mean, you know how bad that's got to be? I mean, my ex-wives don't like me that little. Into Tipton for Party Foul Steve's laptop fun. Okay, Chad, you owe Steve $5. Trust me, he'll get it since it got missed yesterday. Great show. Love you guys. Love you right back, girl. Thank you for that. And we will. We'll get Steve. We're going to get Steve set up, man.
It's a beautiful laptop.
Yeah. Anything else?
Any more super chats? Anything else?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's all. That's all she wrote.
I love it in the chats when people think they know my personal life and they don't. People just assume so.
Everybody knows it. They see you online.
They think
put it out there.
No. I am single, and let me tell you something. These people who think that these people that think they can interpret reality from social media, I want to encourage all of you out there. That is the literal worst thing you can do. It is not critical thinking if you interpret reality from social media. You do not know when a picture was taken or placed or put or anything else. Don't ever think that a person who's trying to influence things or stir the pot is going to tell you all the truth about their life. Don't ever.
Y'all may not know it, but I'm blind if I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah, but trust me, I am not. All right, Megamoo 32 for Steve's laptop fun and Chad's girlfriend front. See, I got you, boo. Now, what you think I'm gonna do? Go out and buy a girlfriend?
Yeah.
No, not gonna do that. Laura Ingraham got a big old head. I'm looking at it from the side right there. Trump just unveiled. He's got the copy of the Declaration of Independence behind a curtain hanging there in the Oval Office. I was there.
Yeah,
I didn't
saw
see
that.
it. Yeah. Hey, don't feel sorry for me, folks. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm good. Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
I went on your Instagram and I took the citizenship test. You had the link for the citizenship. I didn't do as well as I thought I would do.
You didn't pass?
I passed, but there was a couple of them I had to. Oh, you're wrong, and then I go, oh yeah, I read the question wrong.
Yeah. Again, Jennifer 980, you are confused. Don't trust her. Tomorrow I might talk about my girlfriend as well. Can't ever tell. I might talk about my boyfriend. Might talk about my dog. Can't ever tell. If you go to my Instagram at Watch Chad and you click the link in the bio, at the very top of my link tree, there is a test you can take to see if you would pass the questions that are on the citizenship test. So go take it. I love seeing people's results on that thing. Go see if you'd pass. At Watch Chad on my Instagram. And see the link in the bio. All right, guys, watchchad.com, the Gulf of America tour. Tune in for Hot Seat Todd coming up here in the hour. I appreciate you guys. And Party Foul Steve, we got to go pack some.
I'm ready to. I got to go pack my bags for
pack some bags.
Missouri.
Got to go pack some bags. Let's see what we got here.
Go get on an airplane. It's been a minute.
Yeah. Let's see. Steve, A-Pool 91, you and Steve should go on Meggie Moose show. We would all be dying. We got some things coming. We got some fun things coming with everybody. So be some good shows.
The faster I get my own equipment, she goes like at 9 o'clock at night, does she?
No, 7:30.
That's might as well be 9 o'clock for me.
Might as well be, yeah. Yeah. All right, we're going to jump off here. WatchChad.com for all the fun stuff is. You can get Todd's shirt over at redpillthreads.com/hot seat. Also, you can do a little shopping with me, both at prathertees.com. That's one site with one selection. And then you can go to redpillchad.com and check those out. And I love you guys. God bless you. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning for the Dear America program and maybe a little Chad's Church tomorrow afternoon. We'll see what's up. We'll talk to you then. Until then, for Party Foul Steve, bye.